Welcome to another episode of the Simple Man Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Batista, and today's guest is Ceasar Garza. Garza was a state champ from Oakdale High School, and he got recruited to go to Michigan State, where he spent 3 seasons there. And then this last season, he entered the transfer portal and went back to California to Cal Poly, where he was a Pac-12 champion and a national qualifier. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Spotify and all the major social media platforms. Enjoy the episode. What are you in a dorm right now?
No, I'm at a house.
What who are your roommates?
Cash Stewart, Luke Meyer, Tyler Hodges, Ty Chandler, and Blake Heinrichsen. Big house.
Dang, that's a squad right there.
Yeah, nice little group of guys.
Who'd you say is the dirtiest? Who's the dirtiest roommate?
Probably Cash. Yeah, probably.
Not doing his dishes? Is he leaving clothes out? What's the deal?
Probably just clothes. I would say. I think it's probably more clothes than anything. We do a good job with like the everyone's like dishes and stuff. Like we're pretty much on track of that. Like if you do your dishes, like someone does it. But besides that, we have overall a pretty clean house. I would say
Nice.
sometimes my room's pretty dirty too. So if anything, it's just like rooms. But
Yeah.
we do a good job of keeping a clean house, which is cool.
I mean, I think it just makes it a little bit easier. I mean, when I was in college, we definitely did not clean our place probably as much as we should have.
Yeah.
But I mean, part of it's just you're just living with the guys. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, you got six dudes. I mean, it's a lot of guys in the house. So I'm sure you know how that can be sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Without getting maybe too far into it, how many bathrooms you got? You all sharing one bathroom? You got multiple bathrooms?
We got three. So me and Cash share a bathroom, and then a couple other guys, two other guys share a bathroom, and two other guys share another bathroom. So
Nice. Dude, you guys have a pretty good squad right now, I think, with Cal Poly, and it's kind of cool looking at just the landscape of college wrestling and how well California wrestling is doing on the college level. I think it all goes back to how well you guys are doing in high school. Like you got a lot of programs like Oakdale, especially that are I think have a really good system in place and are getting guys ready for college. Can you maybe talk about that a little bit, like just coming out of Oakdale, and do you feel like that really prepared you well for college?
yeah. So Steve Strain specifically, I think he does a really good job at like just having a really structured, almost like a college-like structure. We were training. I mean, 5 days a week. I mean, putting us through Olympic level lifts. Pretty much just a normal collegiate routine. I mean, it kind of prepared us for exactly what to expect. And you have a lot of guys that were bought in. Guys that have been doing it since a young age. So we had a good group of guys that enjoyed wrestling and that wanted to be there. And I think that was the biggest difference I would say compared to a lot of high schools that I've seen over time. And I mean, it's just really cool. We got like a family thing out there, and I've known a lot of those guys since I was like 7, 8 years old. And just to see us go to college and some of us graduating here soon, it's just really cool. So I think, having that family structure with a bunch of guys that truly love the sport. And I mean, he brings us along for barbecues and a lot of our other coaches where we're all hanging out, swimming, and we'll have practice, and then a lot of our guys will go hang out. Just having that tight knit thing, and um, yeah, and overall, it's just they do a great job. And he still contact a lot of those coaches still contact me to this day, see and check on me, and it's just really cool. So I think that structure based, even in the summertime, we were working out 5 days a week, lifting, wrestling, running, competing in summer tournaments, which I think a lot of programs in the state of California specifically kind of don't really do, besides like Fargo maybe. But we were still competing across the country and folk style, traveling for camps, just staying very active, which I think a lot of programs in California kind of maybe lay off a little bit, but we kind of stay on it. But we're not much of a freestyle team, but we were still training folk style and kind of a year-round, bought-around system. So that's a little summary. Kind of, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's cool what you said, like Steve and some of those other coaches, they still are like in contact with you, and I think it makes it a little more special when you have that relationship between coach and athlete where it's like they care about you as a person, beyond just maybe what you're doing on the high school level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I'm me specifically. I think having that bond with the coaches is it's amazing, and it makes you want to go out there and wrestle harder for them, and it just means a little more when you step on the mat too. I think it's a good piece to it as well.
When you think about like when you started wrestling to all the way through your high school process, was there a point where you're like, all right, like this is my thing. Like I love wrestling. This is something I want to do on the collegiate level, and kind of where did that come from?
Yeah, so I started when I was 4, so I've been doing this for a really long time. I would probably say right when I was like 8 or 9, I was like, all right, this is it for me. Like, this is when I want to lock in, and like I want to go wrestle in college. Like, my dad would take me to done a bunch of Stanford duels, and I remember just watching some of those guys wrestle, and I was like, this is it. I remember I was like 8. I was at I think we went to Tulsa Nationals, and my dad took me to Oklahoma State dual meet, and that was the most excited thing I could have ever seen. I was so excited, and I got like some pictures with John Smith and Pistol Pete, and then I think at that
Nice.
moment, that was probably like a specific moment when I was just like, all right, like this is what I want to do, and I just been in love with this since. So yeah.
I have like the same thing. You go and watch a college dual meet, and you're up in the stands, and there's all these people getting excited, and it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
all right, this is cool. Like I want to do that. So it seemed like going on those trips and like maybe building those core memories early was like, all right, this is like pretty exciting. I want to do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then of course just seeing some of those older guys that were on Oakdale and just being around some high level guys, it was just really cool. I always
I
looked
think
up to some of those guys too. It was awesome.
is it trippy to think that like, you were watching some of these older Oakdale guys like go off and do things. You're like, I want to be like them. Do
Yeah.
you think like you're kind of that standard bearer for the program now, or younger guys in the room are point at you and be like, I want to be like Ceasar Garza?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's kind of a full circle moment. It's really cool. Like I just come back in the room, there's a lot of little guys that are really happy to see me and just full of smiles and um it's awesome, man. It's really cool. It really just puts in perspective that there's more to this than just wrestling, and it's really cool. Really cool.
When you're going through the recruiting process, like I guess the first time, what was kind of that process like, and how'd you like narrow it down to Michigan State?
So it was pretty odd time. My junior year, which was kind of like your main year of recruiting, was COVID, and so I it was kind of weird. Like there was a good amount of schools calling me, but unfortunately, like I wasn't able to take a lot of visits because of COVID. So I was in contact with a lot of schools. I think the main five were like Wyoming, North Dakota State, Bucknell, Michigan State, and then I think Oregon State. And I took a visit to a handful of those. And for me, it was more of kind of who was contacting me the most. I think that really stood out to me. And just not, I mean, not being able to go to some of those campuses for a long time kind of sucked a little bit, unfortunately. But I did the best with what I had, and eventually COVID did kind of go out, so I was kind of rushing some of these visits. But it was good. I think looking back at it, I mean, I don't have any regrets. I think at Michigan State they had a good thing, and they contacted me a lot, and there was a Cali connection, and it felt like home, and it kind of stood out to me like that degree piece too from Michigan State and wrestling in the Big Ten. I mean, I've been watching that since I was 8 years old too, and those were kind of the main things that stood out. So.
I thought it was really cool when you came when Michigan State dueled CSUB. I was on the broadcast at CSUB, so I got to watch you wrestle, and I'm glad CSUB finally got a duel win. But it's one of those
Yeah.
things. I remember watching you wrestle. I'm like, dude, you wrestle so physical, and you wrestle hard with your hands, and you're moving your feet. Where does that style kind of come from?
So my dad and my family have always kind of been like big boxing fans, and I've messed around hitting the mitts before and stuff, and so I've just learned to have some heavy hands. Wrestling your whole life, you just get heavy feet, heavy hands. But I've also just learned to have like that light feet to it too, that light fast footwork, and it just kind of comes back from them. Even my dad, my grandpa, my dad's always said that. He didn't speak any English, but he was always like, "Why, you should put him in boxing. Like wrestling's great, but he should be a boxer." And my dad still tells me that to this day. But that's kind of helped with me, just that being light on the feet, heavy hands, feeling good out there. So it's almost like a show, and kind of how I interpret wrestling. And you get to represent yourself as a person, and that's kind of how I am, man. Always fun, being light on the feet and just enjoying it.
You ever think about like maybe not necessarily getting MMA, but like doing anything like combative wise, like after college?
Yeah, I've definitely considered it. I've rolled around with jujitsu and like I said, I've hit the gloves before. I've definitely thought about it. I can't for sure say that I'd for sure want to do it. I mean, just because I don't know, just like the money wise, and it's a lot. I mean, I've wrestled for so long, and I mean, I'll definitely consider it, but I'll definitely want to coach and help out in the next generations too, for sure. So we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think jiu-jitsu is a lot easier on the body than wrestling every day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm about to go in my fifth year, and body's not feeling the same. So that's for sure. That's for sure.
Well, one thing that I know Coach Chuanuma a little bit, and Coach Sharias, I've talked on the phone once or twice, but I have a couple buddies that went there, and a couple guys that I coached that ended up going to Cal Poly. When you think about the training environment there, what are some things about just kind of being a little bit older now? It's like maybe dealing with some injuries and kind of going into like how do they kind of coach that aspect of the sport?
Like more of like the
Like
like
training cycles and just being aware of like the guys and where they're at and okay, hey, maybe Caesar, you don't necessarily need to go on this super hard run
yeah.
this morning. Maybe just sleep in or get some stretching or recovery in.
Yeah, so they do a great job with it. For example, Zeth kind of hurt his elbow in the beginning of the year, unfortunately, and his recovery was looking good, and they're kind of keeping him safe, and he came back. We thought he was good for Midlands, and then eventually he ended up like popping his elbow out of place again, and he's going to take a medical. But I think that was just an example. But they do a good job at it. For me, I was wrestling pretty hard all year. I was pretty healthy. And I think we're gonna go dual Stanford, but I kind of tweaked on my knee a little bit, and it wasn't necessarily like a match I needed. So, coach is just like, "Hey, we're gonna have you rest this weekend. Let's get you ready for the next couple weeks. Like, there's no worry. Like, no, we're not mad at you. Like, don't worry. Like, this is our decision." And like they're really, really, really aware about it. And I think the practice for me that week was a little lighter. But besides that, they do a great job overall. Tinker too, our heavyweight was pretty banged up.
Yeah.
And on their own time, Sirius would go down there and make sure he was still in shape, like running on the treadmill and put him through a treadmill workout. Like even though he couldn't wrestle, Sirius and the coaching staff was well accommodated into him and made sure he was still, getting his work in, but also making sure his body's healthy and safe. So overall, they do a really good job.
It's definitely something I think in the last few years has changed a lot in terms of recovery and coaches paying a little more attention to that. I think in high school it was like, I mean, I would do whatever it took to be on the mat. Same thing in college. Like I used to brag, like I would never go to the weight room in college or the training room when I was in college.
Yeah.
But now it's like, dude, that's so dumb. Like, it's like your shoulders are a little bit banged up. Just go get some ice or just go talk to
Right.
somebody. Like, hey, like I'm fine. I'm still good, but I just probably need to get checked out and make sure you're healthy so you can put the most that you can in the next practice, the next workout.
Yeah, I think kind of like you said, a lot of I think that's kind of just the wrestler in us, like not wanting to. You're like, oh, I'm good. I'm gonna shake it off. You know what I mean? But I think, like you said, especially over my time in college, I've seen a lot more guys being more aware with using the training room, using cold plunges, like recovering well, utilizing the rest day, like all that stuff's really important. And the wrestling's just so demanding, so it's good to see guys just utilizing it more.
Yeah, especially like understanding what wear and tear is. It's like, well, I'm not hurt, but it's like if you're working out really hard and you're not giving that your chance for your body to recover, you're just going to increase your likelihood for injury.
Right, right.
When you were getting recruited at Cal Poly, like what was your situation, I guess, going into the recruiting process the second time? There's a lot of craziness happening in their transfer portal. Can you maybe talk about like what that experience was like?
Yeah, so I was just like, unfortunately, I wasn't pretty happy with how things were going at Michigan State. Um, I'm still on good terms with them. I would nothing too bad to say about them. They're great people, and it was hard for me because I'm a pretty family known guy. I considered them my family, so it was really hard for me to actually like sit down and have that conversation with them. But eventually I did, and I'm pretty emotional, so I started crying a little bit too in the moment because I'm pretty genuine. I don't ever want to hurt anybody, and but I jumped in, and I had a handful of schools reaching out. Unfortunately, not as much as I would have wanted. Um, I don't know. I never qualified at Michigan State, so that was pretty upsetting. So I had a couple schools reaching out. I think it was Chattanooga, Oregon State, Cal Poly, and a couple other more smaller Division I schools. But my original plan was to stay at 74. So I don't think a lot of schools knew that I was going to even consider 84, and it actually wasn't even my thought to go 84 until the Cal Poly coaching staff brought it up to me. So that probably could have affected my recruiting process overall. But I took a visit to Chattanooga, and something about Oregon State, they were kind of being, it was already in the portal. I was already in the portal for a long time, and they were just not really efficient with the weight class that I wanted to go. I think they wanted me to go 65, and I was just like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Like, I appreciate everything, and then so I took a visit to Chattanooga, and then Cal Poly. I weighed on my options, and then just found Cal Poly. It was great. Everybody, I knew a lot of guys on the team. The culture was great. A lot of guys were awesome, really welcoming, and I think we had Luke Gayer and Andre Gonzalez who committed before me, so I knew both those guys really well since just growing up around wrestling, and I was just excited. I was like, man, we got a good team back in California. Like this is gonna be great. I was telling my dad all the time. Look at the lineup we have for next year. It was cool, and respect to Chattanooga. I loved it out there, but just thought Cal Poly was just better for me. Kind of missed home. Was kind of tired of the cold too. So yeah.
It's definitely something because I lived in the Midwest until I was in seventh grade. And I moved to California, but like just knowing you're gonna go outside and it's gonna be cold, especially once you get done with practice and then going outside again.
Oh
It's got
yeah.
to be nice being back like in Cal Poly where it's nice pretty much all year round.
Right. Yeah. It's awesome. Just seeing that sun. It's great. It would suck up sometimes you're at Michigan State and then you have a hard practice and then you just come outside and it's just freezing cold. You know what I mean? It just kind of wears you down a little bit. Days feel long. Yeah, the sun. I'm out. I mean, sun's out. I'm happy. I can't complain.
What it's interesting too when you talk about like the culture right now, Cal Poly, and again, kind of just being somebody maybe on the outside. Dude, Cal Poly, the culture used to be bad. Like before Cerritos got there, it
Yeah.
was pretty rough. And I used to kind of joke it's like that's where good California wrestlers go. Basically, did not do anything. But now
Mhm.
you got guys that are contending to be All Americans and guys that are qualifying to the national tournament. And it seems like everybody there loves wrestling and they love being at Cal Poly. Like, what makes Cal Poly so special from your perspective?
I just think the coaches do a good job at just making they're recruiting the right guys. I think it comes down to like that culture piece, guys that truly enjoy wrestling and that want to be there. I think at Michigan State we kind of struggled with some guys just I think partying a little too much and maybe not truly bought in on wrestling and as soon as I came here I noticed the difference. Everybody loved wrestling and when everybody loves something, like you're more likely to grow and more likely to develop, and um, it's just really cool. You can just see when so much people getting loving the sport, and you can just keep feeding on one another and keep growing, and it's just really cool. So they do. I think it starts with the guys they recruit. They're making sure guys are here for the right reasons. They don't want to just come to Cal Poly and not care about wrestling and worry about their social life. Right? They're worried about how are these guys as people, their grades piece, what's their ups and lows of wrestling. I think all that stuff really matters, and I think the coaches do a good job at, making sure every guy's a great fit. And yeah, I think that's specifically what stands out at Cal Poly, and they do a good job of developing our guys. They truly invest. Like once they have you, they invest in you and they believe in you, and they're gonna put you through whatever it takes to try to get to your potential. So it's great.
And it seems like you guys are having fun too. I saw this video of this
Yeah.
dodgeball game. What's I feel like there's so many different like games out right now, like whether it's Jungle Ball or like a
Yep.
100 million different variations of dodgeball. What's your go-to dodgeball game in the room?
I don't even know if we have a for sure name to the dodgeball game. Like I don't know what our name is called, but it's like you have partner dodgeball, and you could take 2 steps with the ball, and then if let's say me and you are on a team and you get hit, you would go down on a knee, and then if you want to come back in, I have to give you or you have to get the ball, and I could throw you the ball or roll you the ball, and then you hit somebody, and then once you hit them, you're back up. But if you were down and then I got hit, we would both be out. And then I could also carry you while you're on the ground. It's pretty cool. Like if you're on your knees, I could pick you up and carry you to somebody who's still like in. And then once you're on the ground, you could hit them with the ball again, and then you could take 2 steps with the ball. So it's a little unorthodox way of dodgeball, but it's really cool. And yeah, that I think I can't believe I actually forgot about that. But they do a good job at just making sure the fun. I mean, it's everything. I mean, you got to be doing, you got to love what you're doing, and they do a good job at making sure they're not, overtraining us or just overdoing things, right? Or too much of one thing, switching up practices and showing our moves and maybe not too much live, right? Like they're making sure that we're not burning out on the sport and just continuing to love it. And like you said, we do things like dodgeball. We've been playing a lot more handball, and yeah, it's great. I mean, guys are in there messing around, smiling. I'm kind of a goofball myself, so I'll be in practice like we have some guys injured on the bike, and I'll just look over there and I'll point at them, just like laughing, just and then smiling, and Chewy and Cerritos are laughing too. So it's really cool, and they tell us jokes, and we'll be messing around during a stance of motion and smiling, and like maybe a Spanish song comes on and someone's like, do the salsa, and it's really cool. It's funny, and it's really cool. I think kind of hard to explain, but like once you're in the Cal Poly culture, like it's just really cool. Those are just a few examples, and we have another. It's just there's so many great stories. We have another kid named Christian Garcia from Walnut. I'm pretty sure you've heard the name. We'll be jogging around the mat, and like people do backflips and stuff during warm up, and everybody's like, all right, like Chewy will be like, all right, Chrissy, like it's your time, like now's the time to do the backflip, and like everybody's like, yeah, like screaming, and like everyone's like Chrissy, and he like runs and does like a back handspring backflip and like lands completely on his neck, and it just looks so funny, and everybody's like, yeah, like it's just really cool, and you could tell that the coaches want to make it fun for us, and they do a great job at it.
Well, it takes the pressure off. It's
Yeah,
like wrestling doesn't have to be this meat grinder all the time. You guys have been wrestling for a long time. You've been
right.
wrestling since you were four. Just now, it's just about cleaning things up and making sure you're not taxing your body, but you can still have that joy. You know.
Yeah, right. It does make a difference. Like you said, I still think just growing up, you've seen a lot of coaches and being really hard on kids, and I just don't think it's the most efficient thing in the world. Even what our coaches do, like even if we didn't perform our best or didn't perform to expectations, they're really really positive. What are we gonna do to get better? Like don't worry, like we got to do this to get better, and we're gonna get right back on track. Like keep your head up. We're proud of you. There's no yelling. There's no attitude. Like it's really positive, and it releases a lot of pressure. Like whatever happens, happens. You go out there and do your best, and we're gonna get better. And they enforce that every day. So it's really good to hear that.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch. I mean, you guys, you personally, I mean, you had a good Pac-12 tournament. You end up kind of maybe having a little bit of a chippy match in the finals. But
Yeah.
when you get in those situations, like what's kind of going in your brain? Like you're wrestling McDonald, who's a very physical guy, but you're kind of matching that intensity a little bit. When things are getting chippy and the score's kind of close, what's kind of going through your brain, or maybe what are some things that you hear from your coaches?
Just to stay present in the moment. They kind of enforce that, like, maybe a call doesn't go your way, or, they do a good job at like kind of practicing. Like if something goes wrong, just, staying present and like, what are you here for? And when things get chippy like that, I actually just kind of smile and look around. I don't know if you saw that, like I just smile. I start laughing, and because I'm here to have fun, man. And if someone wants to get chippy, then that's great, man. We can go in the back and we can throw some hands too. But in the wrestling match, I'm gonna have fun. And if you want to get mad and be dirty, like that's great. I'm gonna be smiling. I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna have fun. So I think that's a great way to go about it, and just a great way to go about life too. So.
I talked to Cerritos a little bit on the phone, kind of getting ready for Pac-12s, and how cool is it to have Pac-12s in your home gym?
Oh, it was awesome. It was freaking electric. I mean, everything was really cool. It was great to just see so many people in Mott Gym. I mean, I haven't been there too long, but I've never seen it that packed. And you start seeing some other athletes that they know wrestling, and but they came to watch, and they gained a little more respect for us. Just seeing what we go through as wrestlers, and the community was really really supportive, everybody there, and it was really cool, man. There was a lot of great matches too that we were so fired up about. Anthony Berg beating Bianchi. I mean, just our whole team was so fired up. I mean, we were all jumping around, and our coaches were freaking ecstatic. It was great. I can't. I mean, I don't even know what to say, like how to put it into words, but it was really awesome. And I wish it could be at Cal Poly every year because it was great. It was good to just sleep in our bed and just wake up and have great wrestling like right in our backyard. It was cool. It was
It,
awesome.
It's such like an historic thing because this is the first time a Pac-12 non-affiliate has been able to host the conference tournament. I think in like it's got to be at least 20 years. I want to say maybe Boise State, like in the mid 2000s, and it
Really?
used to be
Yeah.
such a pain in the rear. It's like you either had to go to Stanford or Oregon State or ASU, but now it's
Yeah.
like we get to host it in California at a non-affiliate. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was badass. I mean, I know a lot of other people in the Pac-12 really liked it too. And it's hard not. I mean, we got the weather here and it's beautiful, and yeah, like I said, I hope it would be here every year. It was great. It was really cool.
When you look at what's happening right now with just conference realignment and the Pac-12, I think really kind of changing its philosophy and now trying to add a bunch of schools. As the reigning Pac-12 champ, you're looking at schools like Air Force and the Colorado, or not the Dakotas and NIU and these other schools coming in. Like, what are your thoughts on that? That's going to be expanded.
I think it's great. I think it's really great because Pac-12 specifically kind of gets a little bit of hate for having only four teams, I think. And it's really great for just wrestling and the Pac-12 in general. We get to wrestle different teams, get more more eyes on us, more looks, and it can just give us a more chance to have more allocations for the national tournament, which is great. I kind of think right now in the Pac-12 with only four teams, we kind of wouldn't get the there was a couple weights where I think they probably should have got another guy in there allocated, but I think they might have not just been like, it's Pac-12, like, you know what I mean? So it's really cool to see these teams get in there, and now there's a chance for more guys to qualify, and just hopefully expand the West Coast in general too. I think some of these schools can hopefully like CBU unfortunately, but hopefully some of these West Coast schools can start enforcing more wrestling and keeping wrestling alive. So for wrestling and the Pac-12 in general, it's great.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially, actually Sarias kind of talked about it a little bit, like why he was pushing everybody to kind of go and check out the conference tournament is look what's happened at CBU. It's like that really can kind of happen anywhere. So it's really important to have that winning culture, but also just going out and performing. Like you're a showman. Like when you look at guys on your team that go out there and score points, like that's kind of the ownership part that we got to have as coaches and as a wrestling community. It's like we got to make this exciting. You know what I mean? It's like, you and McDowell are scrapping in the finals. Like that is fun to watch from a fan
Yeah.
perspective. Um, yeah, man, I think I'm really excited for what's happening with California wrestling. I thought your NCAA performance, I know it wasn't what you wanted, but I know you had that really close match with Campos from American who ended up becoming an All-American. What do you I guess do you take from those matches kind of moving into the off season?
Yeah, of course, I was a little upset with how I wrestled, but I was able to just like kind of find my head and stay positive about it. Like they said, these coaches do a great job at just kind of staying positive. And hey, you have another year. Like some of these guys get to go home, and they never get to wrestle at that tournament again. So, of course, I was upset, and especially that first match. I know I was in on like three leg attacks to win that match, so that was a little upsetting, and I should have finished a lot of them. So. Yeah, I mean, he ended up taking fourth, and it does sting a little bit, but I know that I'm right there with a lot of those guys in the country. I mean, the best guys in the country. I'm one takedown, 1 point away from beating those guys, and I actually bruised my ribs really bad after that first match. I couldn't even finish my warm up, and I tried to tape my ribs up, and I just went and wrestled my second match, but I was really hurt, and I didn't get to wrestle my best too, so that was a little upsetting. But I know that me healthy, that I'm right there with some of the best guys in the country, and I know that for a fact. And these coaches instill that in me every day, and um, got about 12 months to just keep getting better and widen that gap. So I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm ready to get back to work. So.
Now that we're in the off season, are you doing freestyle? Are you getting ready for the U.S. Open next week? Or U23s, or I guess
Um,
what's next for you?
Yeah, so my ribs are actually still a little banged up, still since nationals. So I've been going really light. So U.S. Open's probably not in the cards for me, but I'm gonna look into U23s. That's probably a likelihood that I'll be going there and just train freestyle. Yeah, I've been training some freestyle right now, and we have Bernie Truax who's still living around here, which we're fortunate to have, and I've wrestled him all year, and he's helped me get better so much. Him and Chewy and. They've just made so much good jumps from those guys, and just super thankful. So
Bernie's like super into the nutrition stuff right now. Are you
yeah,
talking to him about that kind of stuff, or do you get? Yeah, I'm sure you guys have a nutritionist or something like that, right?
yeah. Not too much in terms of like the nutrition stuff, and we just talk about a lot about wrestling and recovery, and just kind of pick his mind with things. Kind of struggled a lot at Michigan State with just like wanting to prove something and getting caught up in that mental game, which is just really bad. It could really make or break you. I mean, a lot of wrestling is mental, I think, and Cal Poly's done a great job at just making sure that there's no pressure, and we're proud of you regardless. So it's great, and I think that's a big part of it too.
I think it's interesting where you kind of talk about maybe the headspace, like trying to prove yourself. I feel like that's such a common wrestling thing is like having a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, right?
Yeah. Yep, I
What what
agree.
what kind of went through, I guess, maybe trying to deal with that and trying to get over that? Because that is something like, I mean, I struggled with that for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for a lot of guys, it's you come out of high school, you're a bad dude. You know what I mean? You're the best guy in your room, and you're kind of on top of the world. And then you kind of go to your next program, collegiate level, and you're not doing as good, right? And um, maybe you might fall in love, you might fall out of love with the sport. I don't know. There's many aspects that every guy kind of goes through. Me specifically, I was doing pretty good actually. I actually started my true freshman year at Michigan State, and I was wrestling really well. And I don't know. I think at some point, um, I think the coaches there were really hard on me, and it put a lot of pressure on me. And I kind of just, like I said, I kind of wanted to prove something that there was no need to prove. Like I love wrestling, and I love it a lot so much, and I want to do the best at it. But at the end of the day, there's more to wrestling, and I know that after wrestling, there's going to be more that I can do. So I think at Michigan State, it was kind of like my whole world. And don't get me wrong, it still is my whole world right now. But if I lost a match, like I'd be crying for a long time, and be really sad or be really hard on myself, and just think about, oh, like, oh, why didn't I do this in the match, or I could have done best better. And then you just get caught up in your head, and it's really, how wrestling is, man. It's really a mental game, and I was really sad for a long time, and you start losing a couple matches in a row, and then your headspace starts getting a little messed up, and man, is this really, am I really that good? And then coaches get a little upset, and then you just get caught in that losing game, and it just really messes with your brain. And yeah, there's just a lot of hard times, and um, it's good to not, I just hope that a lot of wrestlers just know that, there's a lot more to wrestling. And even if you don't accomplish like what you want, like losing a match like doesn't define you, you know what I mean? And I've kind of learned that over time. And I just wish that I could have like learned that earlier at Michigan State. Um, and they do a good job here at Cal Poly with we meet with like a mental coach kind of thing every week. His name's Coit. Just kind of talking about our purpose, why do we do the things we do? Not only to be better on the mat, but just kind of like after, like as a human, and when we are a dad or when we are coaching, how can we just be better overall? Yeah, I'd really think that that mental aspect though is really important, and I just hope wrestlers overall can, like I said, kind of just know that like a match doesn't define you or anything like that. There's a lot more to life and wrestling.
I think honestly, dude, I think you transferring from Michigan State to Cal Poly, I think was really great, not just for the wrestling perspective, from like your headspace. It's like you get to be out in the sun, you
Yeah,
get to be around people where maybe the coaching philosophy is a little bit different,
right.
but it's almost like a little bit of a reset, almost.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's great. I mean, I haven't stopped smiling since I've been here, so it's wonderful.
Well, cool, man. We've been going for a little over 30 minutes. I want to kind of talk about a couple more things, and then if
Yeah.
there's anything else you want to talk about before we sign off. If we had to do like a day in the life of Caesar Garza, and it's January, we're in season, the sun's out, Cal Poly,
Mm.
everything's nice, like you're getting ready. Like, what does your day kind of look like?
Um, yeah, we could do that. So for like I play a lot of pickleball, even in season, and it's really, really. I probably should actually like in season probably slow it down a little bit, but I play a lot. So for example, like a Tuesday morning, we'll meet with our mental coach at 8:15. Everybody meets in the classroom, and we have our notebooks, we write our notes, and then we'll go right to practice at 9 o'clock, and wrestle with Chewy, wrestle some of the guys, and then right after that we will go right into a lift from 11 to 12. Nice little strength day. And then typically I'll have a class from like 12 to 2 and then 2 to 4. And then for the next hour, an hour and a half or so, I'll just do some homework or maybe take a little nap or whatever comes at that range. And then I play pickleball, like I said, kind of often. So I'll play from like 5:30 to, I mean, some days we go to like 9:30. It's actually really bad. But I'll be playing a lot of pickleball. So me and one other guy on the team, we go play pickleball, and I probably do that 3 or 4 times a week, even in season. And yeah, that's like a kind of like a normal day, and then kind of rinse and repeat for the next couple days. Or some, I mean, one, of course, not every single day I'll play pickleball, but most days, yeah.
I like that because it's something that's outside and you can kind of get a little bit of like a mental like recovery and you're kind of active, right?
Yeah,
So if you got
yeah.
some lactic acid, it kind of helps get rid of that a little bit. But you're not like diving for balls out of bounds and like
No,
going
no,
too
no.
crazy, right? Where you're gonna hurt yourself.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's pickleball's not like a super demanding sport either way. So, um, don't get me wrong. We play some really high level pickleball. Like you'd be surprised. Like, I don't know if you know like terms of pickleball at all, but like there's like levels, and we play like probably like 4.0, 4.5 level pickleball, which is really high level. And yeah, I mean, I'm not diving or anything or getting injured or anything. So, but yeah, it's great, and it's good to, like you said, like it just kind of clears the mind. And I don't really like sitting around in my room all day. I think it's just you get caught up in thoughts, and just being alone in your room all day is not kind of a good thing. So I kind of just like being active or hanging out with my boys. Yeah.
Are you guys just going and challenging random people, or are you involved with like a club on campus? Like what? How are these games, or I guess, are coming about?
So we go to what is it, Royal Grande, like 15 minutes out. They have this court, and it's evenings too, like from that time, and everybody plays Tuesday, Thursdays, and then we've gotten along with everybody there, and we got phone numbers, and a lot of times we'll text them and say, hey, you guys down to play, and then they hit us up, and we'll go on a random day as well. So we go every Tuesday, Thursday there, and it's like the high level courts, and then we'll text guys, hey, does this time work for you? Does this time work for you? And we'll set it up and we'll go. So it's really cool. I really like it. Like I said, wrestling's kind of demanding, and then it kind of gives you that more of a fun piece. You kind of get to clear your mind, and it's cool. It's really cool.
Do the coaches know how much you're playing pickleball right now, or have been playing
Yeah,
pickleball?
oh yeah, yeah. They told me before nationals, like, hey, you got to lay off, like 2 weeks out, like we don't want you playing any pickleball, like we need you fully recovered, and so I listened to them, and but yeah, they're aware of it for sure. They've Chewy's actually heard from one of the some guy at church, like, hey, we played with some of your wrestlers and they whooped their ass and stuff, so it was kind of funny. And he was like, it was cool, they know about it, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a good thing to hear. It's like you don't want to hear the other thing. It's like, yeah, we beat up on your guys the other day at pickleball.
Yeah. That it would look worse that way for sure.
So I've seen the door and I've heard about it, but I know there's an old wrestling room I think underneath one
Yep.
of the buildings, one of the main athletic buildings. Do you guys use that room for something, or is it like a like weight cut room, recovery room?
Yeah,
Can you talk about the room?
yeah. So we call it the dungeon. It's inside of the Mott Gym where we wrestle at. It's like right there. You go right down these stairs, and then there's a nice big wrestling, not huge, but you could fit a couple groups of guys on the mat to wrestle. And we have some bikes, and there's a couple treadmills, and then there's a sauna too. So you could come down there whenever. I think wrestlers are allowed to use it 24/7. We have a lounge area. There's like a couch, couple couches, just chill. If you want to run, get an extra workout in, it's there. If you want to study, do some homework, it's there. So it's kind of both like a lounge area and like a workout area. You want to hit the sauna, recover on a day off. It's there for use, and a lot of our guys utilize it. I mean, you're in between classes, you don't want to go home, take a little nap on the couches. I've done that. Yeah, it's cool. It's a great spot.
One of our club coaches wrestled at Cal Poly, Trent Tracy, and he told
Yep.
me it was a secret, and he couldn't tell me. So I'm glad you finally told me, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
I wonder why, huh? Unless there's
I,
something I don't know about.
he might have just been trolling me, but I figured you're the new guy, so I could ask you, because maybe you didn't know like there was a gag rule, you're not supposed to talk about it. But
Hopefully, I don't get the little whip from letting you know.
other than the wrestling part, like what's your favorite part about being at Cal Poly?
Um, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I just like I always like wearing shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops, and I just love like that sun, man. It's really cool. Just coming out whenever the day is, and you can just wear shirt and walk around shirtless. Like it's really cool. I really like that part about it. And you said non-wrestling, right?
Yeah, non-wrestling. I guess non-pickleball too.
Okay. I mean, for the most part, like just students in general just seem a lot happier. Like people just walking around just are really happy, and um, you can tell like people in slow like want to use like a lot of people are in the rec center or people like working out. Like it's kind of cool to see that. I don't know if like in other places it might just be because it's a college campus in general, but it just seems that a lot more people are active and like kind of care about their lifestyle a little bit, which is really cool. And yeah, I mean the beach is freaking awesome too, man. Like it's really cool to just go out there and just sit out there and chill, relax in the sun. You hear the waves moving, and we go with the group of guys all the time. We would actually go out there on our day offs and cold plunge, which is hilarious because I don't like cold water, and a lot of our guys will go in there for like 5 minutes, and I would run in there for like 20 or 30 seconds and then immediately run out. I'm like, I can't do this. It's too cold. And they all give me a hard time about it, messing around, yanking my chain. But it's cool. That beach aspect is really cool about it. And when it's really hot, I'll go in there. But we would go in the morning, and I'm like, man, this is freezing. Like I don't know how you guys do this, but yeah, it's great.
You got to get through like the first 10 minutes because then you're in the first stage of hypothermia
Yeah.
and you're a little bit numb and then you're fine.
Shit, I don't know if I've ever been past a minute. You know what I mean? Like I don't even I just can't. Like I don't know, it's so cold and some of those guys can stay in that ocean right there in the morning for like 15 minutes. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like I have to like pump myself up to just run in there. So it's funny. But it's
What
it's
about like surfing or boogie boarding or something like that? Like if you have like a task while you're out there, you don't just have to sit out there.
yeah,
Like you go
yeah.
get a board and you shred or something like that.
I think that would help for sure. I haven't done that. I actually do want to learn surfing and boogie boarding a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that would help because then you're kind of out of your mind. You're like, oh man, I don't gotta go against the water right now. But that'd be cool to try for sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess I got one more question. You obviously you have another year left, and then you kind of focus on that. But once you're done, I guess what are your plans after college? And I know you mentioned coaching a little bit too.
Yeah. So ideally, I'd like to get some kind of college coaching job lined up. I know the coaches here have talked to me about potentially being like a recruiting coordinator and kind of staying on staff, but not like set in stone. I've kind of talked to a couple other coaches that have been interested in the idea of like me being a graduate assistant or kind of being on staff. Um, if that doesn't work out, I want to eventually get into administration or be like a athletic director or principal. That's what I'm going to try to get my master's in next year. Yeah, I of course coach wrestling no matter what I'm doing. That's the ultimate plan. Whether it's college, high school, um, youth. I want to coach, and that's what for sure. I'd like to have a full-time job in coaching, and if it's enough to pay the bills, that's what I want to do. Long time. So I just love wrestling, and I just can't see myself being away from it. So
We definitely need more wrestling administrators, just
yeah.
across education in general. When you think about your different coaching influences and the different teams and programs that you've been around, I guess what are some of the things that you're kind of building? Like, all right, this is going to be kind of my coaching philosophy.
Most importantly, I think just having fun and just creating a culture where guys like just really love the sport and enjoy what they're doing. I think the more time that guys are loving what they're doing and having fun, they're just the possibilities are endless. And I think I've seen that over time. Just I've seen some youth kids, unfortunately like dads being crazy, and we've all seen that. And just making sure there's no pressure on kids, and I think that's really important. So just having that philosophy, like we're enjoying what we're doing, we're having fun, and whatever happens, happens. Like we're not mad at you. Like we're just gonna keep getting better. And I think that's really important for to just not grow in wrestling only, but as a person, keep growing men, and I think that's a good starting point for how I'd want to do things.
Yeah, because I think if you are so focused on maybe having something to prove or like trying to push the kids in a way where it's like, dude, you don't want to burn the relationships. Like that's
Yeah.
the most important thing. Like it's cool now. It's like there are kids that I've coached that are like getting married and now they're having kids. And like, dude, how did this happen so fast? Like what the heck? But it's cool that you're excited about that and that's something you're looking forward to do.
Yeah, I think, and just seen so many kids like burn out too, like just in California in general. It's just kind of sad to see, and I want to keep wrestling going. And I know some of those kids could have been really, really badass dudes in college. So just making sure, like, these guys enjoy what they're doing. There's no pressure, and just making sure that's like really family based. No yelling, and just really enjoying what we're doing. So I think that'd be really cool, and keep California wrestling going. Like you said, I like to be administrator. Um, Hopefully, I mean, if coaching doesn't work out, I would like to be like a collegiate athletic director or some kind of something in that field, and just keep promoting wrestling. Like you said, I think it's great for California in general and just wrestling. We need more schools, and I don't want to see any more schools getting cut. So hopefully, I can do anything I can in my power to promote it and help out.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. Well, hey man, before we're done recording, do you have anything else maybe that you'd want to share before we're done?
Yeah, I'd say next year we're going to be a really good team, dude, and I think everyone should watch out. I think we're building really good. Um, Hopefully we can get a few guys in the portal filling some weights, but we're looking really good, man. So everyone out there should watch out, and we're looking ready to take over the Pac-12, even with the new guys. I think we're in the right spot to win a Pac-12 title next year, and just be on the lookout for us.
That was episode 113 with Ceasar Garza. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify, and all the major social media platforms. We'll catch you guys next time.